And we're live.
And we're live! Whoop, 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 whoop! Here we are in Gulfport, like a great big sweaty family. And it is the Laura Shepherd Show 150. So we are having a serious solo. Oh!
Yeah.
And some things, everything's going on. Whoa! Things are going crazy around here. 150. I'm rather proud of myself. Would anybody like to pat me on the back?
Yes, we will.
Okay. And if you'd like to send a donation, you can go to Patreon, The Laura Shepherd Show. You can leave a tip in the tip jar. You can go to Venmo or PayPal. I would appreciate it. We're going to get to singing. Here's the moment you have all been waiting for. John, we have got a spot for you, my friend. We're going to sing this as a group. Something's gonna happen and it could be good. Something's gonna happen and it could be good. Something's gonna happen and it could be good. Something's gonna happen like we do. Oh, things will change, leaves will fall, and it will rain, transform before your eyes. No time flies by. Something's gonna happen and it could be good. Something's gonna happen and it could be good. Something's gonna happen like we knew it would. All right, yes. Thank you for the good time players. We'll get you back up here a little later. Thank you for singing along. It's such a pleasure. Now, Wendy, you just stay right here. I know you stay right here, sweetheart. This is Wendy de Long, and we're delighted to have Wendy here. Wendy, I'm going to move over and let you sit right here. All right. Whew. Turns out I had the mic on. I did not be good. I think so. That was pretty exciting, I have to say. Didn't that feel pretty exciting?
It was very exciting.
All right, so let's have no mumbling in the background. It got everybody so excited they started mumbling.
So look at them, they're incorrigible.
Incorrigible, that's a lovely word.
Yes.
Did you ever work at the Gulfport Library?
No, but I've gone to the Gulfport Library many times. As you know, I came here when I was in 5th grade, and I've been here ever since, and I'm in my 70s. How's that? So that would make it like what?
50, 60 years? Yeah, like a long time.
A long time, so.
We can talk in centuries.
No, not that much.
I mean, half a century. And, okay, so when you first came to Gulfport, where did you live?
My father was in the Navy in Virginia, and he had a heart attack at age 33. So my grandparents lived in Gulfport. So my mother and father decided to come to Gulfport. So we came when I was, 5th grade about. And what was the question again?
5th grade about, but where? Where exactly in Gulfport did you live?
We went.
Where are you actually in Gulfport?
Okay, we moved to Gulfport by the Gulfport Marina, and I have 2 older brothers, 1 older sister, and so my father was retired. He couldn't do much, but he could be the harbor master at the Gulfport Marina. So all my friends knew Mr. Bonds. He was a wonderful person, and he did a lot for Gulfport. And then they lived here for 50-something
Okay, so
more
like
years.
when you're in 5th grade, picture like what is the harbor, like was the harbor a cool place to be, or was it kind of ratty, or was it really fisherman-y, or was it like now it's kind of tourist, no, not touristy, but I guess more, or is it less commercial?
It was not so commercialized as it is today. There were more sailboats, not very many yachts and cruisers. My friends used to go there. We used to hang out, and my dad would give me, Cokes and snacks.
Ooh.
And it was the hangout for a lot of kids there. And now it's much more. It was just a little building. There were more fishermen, less boats, so it was kind of just starting out
Like
with
that's
the
down
city.
there. Excuse me. That's
Sure.
down there in Gulfport. There's what, the marina, and then there's 2 or 3 different. Is it 2 or 3 different
Yacht clubs.
yacht clubs? Are the yacht club?
Lions Club also. Lions Club's got a building down
The
there.
Lions Club's got a building down there,
Yeah.
so not every boat belongs to the same club.
Gulfport
Oh,
Yacht
there's
Club.
us and there's them already.
Ciega Lot, yeah.
Yeah, both the
Okay,
Sega
and-
Yacht Club and Lions Club, and then there's a little flotilla where people that get boats can go and, take lessons and learn how to maneuver your boats.
And was all that there from the beginning? All 3 of those entities?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, they've been there. I would imagine that's where there would have always been something right there on the water where it was.
But they're
used.
new and improved every year. It's,
Well,
how it goes.
And you went to school where?
I went to school at Holy Name on 58th Street. I went to Gulfport Elementary, Diston Junior High, Boca Ciega High School, and then St. Pete Junior College, which was not a real college then. It was just 2 years.
And did you and your friends like go to the beach pretty often? Or?
Yes. We went to Gulfport Beach where there used to be a raft out there. And a lot of my friends, we would jump off the raft. There was a little snack bar. Some people remember that. The casino sold hot dogs on the corner. Went there many times. There was a older gentleman that used to take pictures of people with a pelican, and we would pay him $1 or $2, and we would have pictures of ourselves with the pelican.
How soon did it? How long did it take to get the photo back? Like was it
Not
the same
long.
day?
The same day.
Same day, baby. That was big time.
He had one of those old cameras that you put the flap over. And maybe someone will remember his name after I'm talking about this, but he was very popular.
Okay, if you know his name, type it in the comments.
Mm-hmm.
And were there a lot of like cool people? Like, what did the cool people do? And like, was there a lot of, or did everybody? How many people were in the elementary school? I mean, I'm trying to picture the scene, you
Are
know.
you talking about cool when I got older? or
No,
cool
no,
when
like
I was
in like
school?
in 5th grade, you know, when you go to school. How many kids are we talking about? And were there little gangs of kids running everywhere, or were there not so many kids? And
Well, at Holy Name there was like 30 kids. And everyone listening to me will know who they are when they hear this.
see,
And then I said, Mom, I want to try public school because it looks kind of fun. I met some friends. So she said I could transfer over to Gulfport Elementary. And we had one big class for 4th, 5th, and 6th grade. And Gulfport Elementary was a different school. Now it's improved and redone. But at the time it was a wonderful school, open air, no air conditioning. So there was always air coming through, a tropical
can you imagine
garden.
a school with no air conditioning in Florida? Hilarious. It's kind of like this
It
show.
worked back then,
No,
but
I see.
climate warming happened.
Or whatever. Yeah. Interesting. Okay. And so somehow you have managed to. You still actually physically live in Gulfport,
Mm-hmm.
and you've lived all. Have you ever lived anywhere else?
St. Pete for a couple years and moved back to Gulfport.
Oh, okay. And my understanding is Gulfport had a reputation as being a sundown town, like very very racist.
Yes, it was.
I mean, not only Gulfport. I mean, did you feel that as a kid, or do we?
Yes.
Yes, you knew that was the thing.
There was lots of things happening racially back then.
Yes.
And I remember just a little bit of racial inequality and a sign put up about don't be found in Gulfport.
Oh. And then after that, I heard that it turned into, or somewhere along the way, it became a motorcycle town or something. Whoa, is that right? Look at these people out now. Did you live here the whole time too? Another one that's been here
Yes,
the whole
she's
time.
been here too.
I've been here the whole time. I left in the 70s.
Okay, she left for a bit. Okay, so for a while there was now. Where were you? Where were you when there was all these motorcycle meanies running up and down the road, and you weren't allowed to come to Gulfport?
I really didn't pay much attention to the bikers, but they would all congregate at Gulfport on the Rocks on Sunday, and they were nice people that I remember.
Okay,
you know,
so
bikers are.
You didn't
people
feel
too.
terrified in your own town
No,
by
not at all.
bikers.
No.
Why do you think Gulfport got such a bad reputation?
For that, you mean?
Well, yeah, there was a time when Gulfport had a bad reputation.
Turners.
Was there that one
The Turners
family? That
family.
one family. Hush now. Shh.
No,
No mumbling from the guard. Yeah, I don't know. And then I don't know. Was St. Pete all good and cool at that time? I don't know.
It was, but I think that getting back to Gulfport, it does. It had periods of different stages of things. It was always diversified. It was always coming into its own. There was something else happening. Artists were coming in. Musicians were coming in. It got more and more popular, and the bikers, they had their time, and then another wave of different
So you've
trends.
she's seen them come and she's
I've
seen
seen
them
them
go.
And now Gulfport is like the most art, culture, music that I've ever seen it, as far as
Good.
being open to everyone. And artists were like pouring into Gulfport when they heard about the freedom of their creativity was appreciated.
Okay, now, so speaking of creative artists in Gulfport, that is you. You're going to sing us a song. I'm going to put this over here because not only have you, I just thought it so interesting, to talk to I've been in touch with a real live Gulfportian. I'm one in spirit.
Almost
right?
a native.
Practically a native. We're going to get you back up to sing a song.
Okay.
You wrote this song?
I wrote this song a
Let's see
while
if you
back.
can stand up and make sure that it's going to reach now that we have the. Are you safe over there? So you wrote this song a while back.
I wrote this song about America, but I think that we need this song more ever now because it's election year.
I'm going to reach over now.
Oh, Laura.
I know, it's like, I'm trying to be.
I didn't know.
I'm trying to be.
Pay for it.
Oh,
my
I wish I was
goodness.
better at this. So, continue with,
Um,
pay no attention to the monkey in the corner.
The woman behind the curtain. It's called America Stand Tall. I wrote it a few years ago, and I need to get it out to the public because this year is important for all Americans to really take it seriously. A lot is depending on voting, so I want everyone to vote. This song is called America Stand Tall. America, stand tall and stand together. Take your brother's hand and see him through. Reach into your heart and make this a brand new start. America, stand proud, keep standing tall. America, stand tall and stand forever. Let nothing bring this great country down. We've seen hard times before, stand proud, keep standing tall. And when we see that flag unfurled, we feel the pride inside. There'll be peace around the world. We'll be walking side by side. And when all is said and done, there'll be a better world. One for all and all for one. Man and woman, boy and girl. America, stand tall and stand together. Here's our chance for us to truly try to live in harmony and love with the help from God above. America, stand proud, keep standing tall. Rally round the flag, boys. Stand tall, America. Rally round the flag, girls. Stand tall, America. Rally round the flag, boys. America, stand tall.
Aw,
Thank
that
you
was so beautiful.
so much.
Hey, you sit down for one little minute longer here. I would like to, I'm going to take this one from you to start with. Makes me want to sit up straight. Yay.
It's a very close to my heart song.
Well, brought tears to my eyes, frankly. Look, I wanted to gift you this. This is a book written by Rob McCabe, who was a poet laureate of Gulfport, and he passed it on to me. But now I want to pass it on to you. I'll have to write, because I believe in sharing good things,
Sure.
and because you're a Gulfportian, I
Yes.
feel like that this actually might mean something.
And
to
I
you.
do know Rob. He's a
And you
wonderful
There
person.
you go. So that is one of his books that I'm passing on. Let me tell you right now, if you give me something, I'm liable to give it away. Don't give it to me. Don't give me. I don't want it.
That little purse in that chair.
in that chair.
I like to
That's
give
the-
stuff away too, not just you. Not walking around,
The
you,
purse.
just that little purse.
The purse.
Thank you. So this is yours. I'm not sure where I got it, but I said this is Laura Shepherd written all over it. Don't you agree?
Yeah.
So there you go. Thank you. I will accept your lovely gift, and I might just give it away. But it's it's really cool because what this is made out of is it's little bits of coconut husk.
Really?
Absolutely.
Did you know that? How did you know that?
I just picked it up, and I'm pretty
And
sure
you know
that's
that.
what
That's
well,
crazy.
no is strong. It might be little bits of plastic, but I believe because of the texture. Does anybody want to hold it up for further inspection? Pass it around. Oh, there we go. Thank you so much for bringing me a little gift. I have some other gifts for you. This is some of that butterfly pea to make tea with. Would you use some tea?
I believe so.
There you go.
And I do have to say something about you too. I've known Laura for a long time on the Blueberry Patch, and I'm so honored to be here. And she's done so much for everyone that wants to express themselves and people that could talk on and on like myself. But anyway, I've enjoyed our friendship, and it's very nice to be here this morning on this hot summer morning.
Oh, no, thank you for coming to sit
You're
outside.
welcome.
Yeah, these are those dried blueberry butterfly peas. So there you go. And I have some. Now I'm gonna have to eat these off the floor. Oh, oh my goodness! I'm eating them off the ground. Oh, have one.
Ew.
Ew.
I've never had one before.
I'm gonna pass these around. Anybody that wants to eat one, please feel free.
Give me a second.
And I will.
Thank you for the
so much
tea and for
your
the book.
time. And I have other little gifts I'll give you before you
Okay.
leave. But we can't be spending all day giving each other presents.
Well, thank you for
Thank
the
you so
opportunity.
Well, hopefully we'll get you back up before it's
Sure.
all over, maybe for a little group jam. I like to kind of show what's going on around my, on the property and stuff. And when you have something that you can make art or jewelry out of, like that purse is made out of little pieces of coconut shell. And this necklace, I don't know if you all were here when we were eating the lychee fruits, and when the seeds come out of the lychee, they are shiny, and they look like, oh, they're so shiny. And I thought, well, what would happen if I strung them up, you know? So I'll tell you, it turns into a nice necklace, but they get real wrinkly. So I'll pass these around. Gosh, what happens if you string up a lychee seed? Wasn't that hard to do? I feel rich. I can make myself jewelry. Some of the other things that are some of the other things are here that are worth mentioning are these lovely paintings by my friend Cynthia. Please, Cynthia, come to the front of the stage. Oh, and you can stomp all over my lunch. No. Welcome, Cynthia. Let me give you this. Let me give you this lovely thingy there. This is Cynthia. And Cynthia, how many of the things on this table do you recognize? Now, do you know what that is? This is, I'm sorry, I didn't know I was going to quiz you. Or not even do you recognize. Should I tell you what it is? Okay, yeah, that's better. Isn't that better? I'm just going to tell you what it is. This is a black sapote, and when it falls off, it's related to a persimmon. You know, have you ever eaten a persimmon?
Oh, yes.
Okay, it looks kind of like a persimmon, doesn't it? And it's hard. But this black sapote, when it's ripe, touch that one. Now, if I gave you that, you'd go, ooh, that's a rotten old thing. But that is not a rotten old thing. This is a perfect black sapote. Now, I'm not going to make you eat this, but you can try it if you want. This is what I do to people. I get them up here. Would you care to try some?
No, thank you.
I'm going to try some. And it tastes a little bit like nothing really, but you can put sugar in it. It's called a black sapote. I'm going to pass it around, and anybody that dares can take a little a bite from it. The other thing, but before I do that, I'm going to cut this in half, and then I can send the knife with it. This I got, so this black sapote came from the neighborhood, my friend Barney in his backyard. This is a cactus fruit. Have you ever eaten one of those? Yes. Like a dragon fruit or something. Well, this is the cactus out back. I always have to take, would you like to taste some of this? You don't have to, but
Yes, I like these.
Well, I don't even know if this one's particularly good.
Yeah, it is.
And it's really good for you. Okay, now I'm going to pass some of these things around.
You used to call them prickly pears.
Yeah, well, that one's not a prickly pear because it's not, I thought the prickly pears were the flat ones.
Yeah.
Okay, this one came from a tall one.
Oregon cactus. Oregon cactus.
Oregon cactus.
Oh, no, Oregon, like an Oregon.
Oregon
Like
cactus. Oh, like an Oregon. Anyways, it's a tall, sort of multifaceted, cylindrical.
Yeah.
Here we are talking about. So Cynthia, there's some other things here. We'll save them for a minute. Let's figure out, Cynthia, you are an artist.
Yes.
Can we call you an artist? And it's Cynthia Dugat, like Degas, but Dugat. Being and people can find your work at Art with Degas. Dugat.
Yes.
D-U-G-A-T.
Yes.
But we don't pronounce that T.
Don't pronounce the T. It's silent.
Dugat. My dear, Madame Dugat. Have you always been an artist?
Yes. When I was 3, my father noticed that my people looked like people.
Oh, right, that you were drawing.
Yes, and he was a farmer and he worked in a carbon black plant, but he was very creative. And when he noticed my people were people,
Yeah.
he would come in after work and sit at the table and show me how to draw Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck.
Excuse me, no mumbling out there. Every word you all say out there is loud up here. So he would sit at the table.
He sat at the dining room table with me after he would come in from work and after he finished outside chores, and he showed me how to draw Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck, all of those, and using underlying shapes. He didn't just say, "Here's how you draw it." He explained why you use those underlying shapes to create.
Like I know I've seen like you can like draw a circle for the head,
Yes.
and then you draw this little thing underneath it for the jaw or whatever. Yeah.
Right.
It's
Everything has underlying shapes. If you can find the underlying shape, you can draw the object.
okay. And so you started out being encouraged, and did you go to art school?
Actually, I was discouraged from doing anything with art except as a hobby.
Okay,
And
yes.
so when I went to school, I instead got degrees in English and history.
So there you
Because
go.
I was told you cannot make a living doing art.
And do you feel like you can make a living doing
Oh,
art?
yes, because what I did.
Oh, yes, she said.
What I did was I became an art teacher.
Okay.
I did history and English for 14 years, and then I went back to what I loved, and I became an art teacher and taught the AP program, the advanced placement program in the high school.
Did you have to go back to school to do
I-
that?
I already had some hours in art, and I just went back and finished them.
Uh-huh. And so, and somehow you got a job maybe because you had some teaching experience, or it seems like everybody would want to be the art teacher. I'll be the art teacher. I mean, now you need a job, I'll be the art teacher. So was it competitive to be?
Oh, it's very competitive. It's very hard to find art jobs.
Yeah, yeah, but you managed
Once
to.
someone gets there, they usually stay, and they're there to, no, I skipped around. I'm a gypsy. I move every 3 to 5 years usually.
Oh, when did you get to Gulfport?
2017, I came to visit a friend that lives in the Marina District. She grew up in Jacksonville, but she student taught here. And I
Oh,
taught
okay.
with her in Texas. And 14 years we didn't see each other, and I just dropped in on her. And she showed me around Gulfport, and I retired from teaching and moved here within a year and a half.
This is the place to be. Gulfport's a little magic town, vortex town, I think. People come and they either stay or come back, or they come and then they say, I don't know what's going on there, and they leave.
No,
Kind
I
of like
love
the
it.
blueberry patch. Yesterday I was at the blueberry patch. They have a music scholarship program, and so they do a fundraiser once a year where kids are allowed, and yeah, so that's the type of place where I go there all the time, and people I bring people there, and it's a $5 admission usually, and I always say it's worth the $5 just to get in and look at the place, but I find that people either go in there and go, okay, let's go now, or they fall in love with it. Doesn't seem to be, and I think
No in
Gulfport's
between.
kind of the same. So you now live in Gulfport and are still doing art,
Yes,
and you are not just teaching art, you're also selling art.
I'm selling art.
Okay. What? You can't sell art? No, you must be selling coffee mugs. Or, no, you're actually selling
Well,
real
actually,
art?
speaking of coffee, one of my medias
Yes.
is coffee. This is a painting I did of my daughter, Leia.
It's funny because I thought it was you. I mean, it resembled you a little bit.
Yes.
Does your daughter resemble you? I
A little-
presume she does.
she does.
I mean, it doesn't really look like you, but I said, oh, that resembles
That's
you.
my daughter.
And
Leia.
this is made
It's painted completely in coffee.
completely in,
There's nothing but coffee on there.
and what possessed you to paint completely with coffee?
Well, I feel when I was teaching art, I learned just as much, if not more, from my students than they did for me, because they would each do something a little differently, and I'd want to know how they did it.
Mm-hmm.
And I was teaching a project on value using the grid and mapping everything in using a grid,
Mm-hmm.
and then we'd fill it
Yeah,
in
you
with
put a
patterns.
grid on a piece
Yeah.
of paper,
And we-
and then you could put a grid on a picture, and then you'd know that the eyeball is right there in the
So I
grid.
modified that and got all the values in the coffee and just started applying it and playing around.
And the dark one, is that layer after layer, or just stronger coffee?
I probably paint about 5 to 10 layers, building them up,
Mm-hmm.
and then I start making the coffee thicker. And whenever you get to the really dark parts,
That's the way
on
I
her-
like my
on
coffee.
her eyelashes here, it's almost like melted chocolate.
And you're using instant coffee, or?
I use different instant coffees. Different coffees give different tones. This one's completely using Folgers.
Oh, this is the
Just
Folgers
Folgers.
one.
The
Who knew?
Maxwell House is more yellow and has yellow tones and orange tones in it. It's not as dark. It's not as deep.
Well, maybe the Folgers is a color. Well, we're gonna have to look into what makes. We're gonna
I mean,
get together and do something.
Personally, I like dark coffee.
Yes.
Not yellow.
Oh.
But whenever you paint with Maxwell House, that's what you get. And the different brands give
Okay.
different colors.
We're gonna have to do some, I mean, it makes sense in a way, who would have guessed that?
Now,
you know?
she's completely in Folgers, but I have painted in different coffees together. Combining them for the different
Oh,
for the
I
very
wonder if that's allowed.
shades and tones.
Are you sure that's allowed, mixing them like that, you're gonna let them? Okay, and what other, let's talk about this one here.
This is one that I actually,
I'm gonna hold it up right here for a
I
second.
developed this technique since I've been in Gulfport.
And what is this technique?
So I like to play with things. I don't like to just do one thing. It gets boring. Like these acrylics, I love painting in acrylic, but then it gets old and I've got to try something else. So this is painted with gouache.
Gouache, which is a type of watercolor
Watercolor.
that's opaque. Is that
Yes.
the difference between,
Yes.
okay, gouache,
And
like
it's
watercolor?
almost, the way I describe it when people ask what the texture is like when you're painting with it, it behaves more like a watercolor. But it's almost like if acrylic and watercolor have a baby. To me, that's how it feels.
There's some more of that intermingling going on.
So I started with the gouache, and I was just one night, just didn't know what I wanted to do, so I got the paper wet, because you have to pre-wet the paper, and I splashed 2 or 3 colors of gouache on it, and then I threw Epsom salts in it, and sprinkled it with some rubbing alcohol. So with those, then I let it dry overnight, and in the morning I scrape it off with the metal edge of a wooden ruler, and then you've got a flat surface, and then I look at it until I decide what's
What
in
it
it.
is, something calls
something
out of
has
the murk.
something has to come out of it. For example, on this one, and you can see this on my Instagram, this one's actually time-lapsed, so I take it from the first picture of just the splashes to the final product, so you can see it develop and see what I've done. But this one, what I saw was a mermaid. This tail was almost all there. That's just how it dried. And I thought I was going to be painting turtles, but when I looked at it, there were no turtles. There was a mermaid, and it's actually me.
Well, I was
So-
gonna say that this one looks like you too, in a way,
This
you know?
one's me because as a child, I thought I was a mermaid.
Oh, maybe you are. Yeah.
And,
Where did you grow up?
on the opposite side of the Gulf. I was equidistant from Galveston, Houston, and Beaumont. Like if 3 lines came from those, that was where I grew up. So we were always at the beach.
Yeah,
on
so
the-
you might
on the bays.
you might have some mermaid something.
Oh, I do. It's
Yeah.
on me. No,
Absolutely,
but
yeah.
that's what I saw was the body. If you see the splash, I didn't add to this splash. This was just a splash. And so whenever I saw and then I just went from there. And then as I was working, I realized there was a seahorse hovering above her, so I added him. See, these splashes were already there.
I do that sometimes too, and I think a lot of people do that. That's sort of a technique to sort of free yourself up,
Right.
so
Like
that you're
looking
not.
at clouds and saying what shape are the clouds. It's
Right.
the same thing.
Same thing.
So I started playing with this, and I did a whole series of these, and it's something that I've developed further.
And I think
Really
people think
excited
that
about
to be able to draw or whatever, you have to make this look exactly like a mermaid with every little scale on her tail. And it's clearly a mermaid, everybody knows that, but it's just a squiggle, and so I think people,
So
it
that
frees you up
Yes.
to do something.
It is. It's very therapeutic to paint
Yeah.
this, to paint these.
Yeah.
I have some hanging in the Brenda McMahon gallery.
Okay, there's something to talk about. So you now sell actual art,
Yes.
and that's what I'm saying. Like a lot of people sell their art in prints and stuff like that. But do you sell mostly actual
I've
paintings?
never sold a print.
See, so interesting. I'm with you,
And-
sister.
And I know the money is in the prints, but once you start making prints, the originals kind of just.
Right. So you
Plus,
sell
I
original
like original
artwork
art. That's it.
in a local gallery
Yes.
that thinks enough of your work to have your work up in there at the Brenda McMahon Gallery,
Yes.
which is
Brenda-
on
It's on Beach Boulevard.
Yes, the McMahon Gallery, I think it's called, on Beach Boulevard. It's a beautiful gallery and they've just expanded.
Yes.
And I think so. So what did you have to do to get into Brenda? And not necessarily just Brenda, you know, I'm not saying, how do you get into Brenda's gallery? But I'm saying, like, as an artist,
I was invited.
you and how she saw your work somewhere.
She saw my work. Actually, what she had seen, I had met her sister, and I ended up at a cookout in her sister's backyard. And her sister's the one that said, "I want you to see Cynthia's coffee."
Oh, okay. And so then
So she saw the painting of Leia, and that's when she wanted a lot of the coffee.
stuff.
So I've got 3 paintings there. They're 24 by 24. That is a series of musicians that have passed. I have John Prine, Jimmy Buffett, and Tina Turner. And Tina Turner is actually 2 feet by 3 feet. She's
Yeah.
tall because you need to get her legs in.
Well, you're right. You can't turn her without her legs. Well, so, you know, it's interesting because sometimes people get the idea that you can't make it as an artist, you can't sell original work, you'll never get into a gallery, you have to be connected somehow. You weren't connected. Well, I mean, I guess her sister saw
all
the work.
of these are kind of true, because if I hadn't met her sister, I would have never met Brenda, and Brenda would have never seen
In
my
that
work.
work, right.
So I think everything in the universe is connected.
Connected
Everything's
somehow.
connected. Everything.
Anyway, so I'm just saying to people, it does happen. You can have a beautiful piece of artwork and then somebody comes to you and say, oh my gosh, I want more of that. And this is textured.
Yes. When I paint with acrylics, I actually texture the canvas before I even begin. And then as I'm working, I try to add texture in what I'm working. But this one I kept kind of flat, except for him. I textured him because I wanted him to pop out. This was painted for Art Jones,
Yeah.
which happens the first weekend every December. In December, the first weekend, Saturday and Sunday.
Well, thank
Art
you.
Jones.
Thank you so much for coming up and being an artist and talking about it. We're gonna take this from you, and then we might hear from you again here in a second. There's a little surprise. Okay. Right now, we're gonna get Chris up here. Come on, Chris. Let's get Chris up here. Chris Bitesize, and he's here to tell us about the Gulfport Brewery open mic on Thursdays. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, on Thursdays.
I'd like to just piggyback on what Cynthia said about the interconnectedness of all things, whether it's you or me or just this open mic thing just happened. I'm just a dishwasher there, and they're like, hey, you want to do this open mic? And so we've been doing it for 4 weeks now. It's been gangbusters.
Oh, I know. I see it. I always think about coming, and now I'll come down there because I like to try and support the people that are on the show. I'm usually in bed by 7 o'clock.
I have a request for that song, for your theme song.
Which one?
I'll sing it with you. The
Okay.
one we did at Duke.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
I wanted to know, have you ever eaten this weed, this purslane?
I've been eating everything you throw at me. Should I eat this too?
Yeah, this is a weed. They call it a purslane. Some people call it, you can buy it. It's called portulaca. It's supposed to have a lot of B vitamins.
It's delicious.
It is delicious. It's a little slimy. I'm going to pass this around. I
It's
like to show.
Is it cactus? Is it a cactus plant?
It's in the succulent. It's a succulent.
Uh-huh.
And most people throw it away. It's a weed. It has a lot of vitamin B's. Not supposed to eat it if you have kidney stones or something.
Okay,
Anyway,
I don't have
if anybody wants to, but I usually let's pass those around quietly. No discussing them. You can pass them. No
The
discussing.
purple things you passed around were delicious.
The peas, aren't they good? Look, I'm still picking them up off the floor and eating them. Another little. This was a fun thing that was gifted me. So these are all things that is like real food growing around here. Now look, I don't have enough food here to feed a neighborhood, but I could make myself a smoothie at the end of this show and be, so it's always worth just having a few little things around, some weeds. I put a little sprig in a smoothie. Look at this big fatty, oh, there's a banana. I'm gonna open it and make a smoothie after the show. And then I was doing some pruning, and I have this, you know what that is?
Nope.
Okay, macadamia nut.
No way.
And yeah, I have it in the front yard, and I was pruning it because I love my neighbor, and I'm trying to keep my macadamia nut from scratching her cars. So I pruned it, and the rest of the nuts aren't quite right. But see how they split open? This case does. Ah! And here, well, ah. All right, look, there's the casing come off. And then on the inside, now this thing isn't totally ripe yet. Ah! 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 Did you hear it? Crack! Look at that. This is like a really fresh friggin' nut. It's like almost,
That's delicious.
and so you can tell the freshness of it. It's not like,
It's like coconut almost.
mm-hmm, it is. It tastes a lot like coconut. Okay. Thank you for playing along with all the fun things we could eat.
That's what I do in my backyard. I go out and try to find star fruit. Or when mango season comes around, I steal mangoes from my neighbors and make shakes all summer.
I'm gonna.
I asked them first.
Yeah, no, I know. I always say steal when I mean, go get. I don't.
That was a good nut.
That was a good nut. We'll take it. Yeah,
We'll
look.
send the other one somewhere.
Can we put that one on that side of you? And then I'm gonna get off the stage and let you sing.
So once again, every Thursday, 6 to 9, Gulfport Brewery. Come on out. We had a marching band one time. We had the Gulfport Gecko marching
What
band.
time do you have to set up?
6 to
sign up.
9.
What time do you have to get there if you want to sign up?
5:30.
Okay. Oh, look, great job, Wendy.
I'm just gonna play one song and make way for the rest of the people. But come out to Gulfport Brewery open mic. I am so happy to be hosting that. It's like, it just feels so good to have a nice gig like that where I can do something for community. Just get everyone up. And what I like to say is the stage is yours. I'm spitting nuts out of my mouth.
No, sorry about that. Can I give you a...
So Gulfport Brewery open mic. Laura Shepard, Cynthia Dugat, Wendy de Long. That was the best page. That's what we need. We don't need to be divisive. We need to join together. My whole thing. All right, here's one of my songs, and I'll get the F out of the way. Thanks, Laura.
Slow, now what's the rush?
I just like to say one more thing. Never eat peanuts before you're gonna sing on
Yeah,
stage.
sorry about that.
Jesus.
That's on one of my horrible
They were all.
tricks.
There was like coconuts
Oh,
screwing up the whole
God.
thing. I love you, Lord.
Oh, I know.
Thanks for letting me do that.
You are so welcome.
Oh, you want this thing?
That, you know,
Yeah.
I ought to learn. You'd think after 150 shows I'd know better than to do that to people. But I just always like to fit in I like to fit in the food stuff just a little bit all the time so people know how easy it is. All right, now, ladies and gentlemen, we have in the house an author. Oh, this is, hey, look, Chris, this is my little gift to you. It's a local, it's music. It's a CD. You produce, like you promote is the word. I mean, you are so accessible. Anyway, there's a CD. Hope that it brings you some joy.
I
Listen to
believe
it. Pass it on.
you're looking for a media whore.
I don't know. I think you do a lot of promoting of other people, which I wouldn't consider
Oh,
being a media.
thanks
whore.
for seeing that.
I always see you doing that. All right, we're gonna have a Gulfport writer come to the stage, and yay! Cynthia! Yeah, grab that book right there, honey.
Have a peanut.
Have a peanut. Yeah, let's see what I can do.
I don't want
to you.
anything to
I
eat.
know.
Thanks.
Laura, you're the worst. And I swear I don't do it on purpose. It was about halfway through and I was like, oh, that was a mistake. What is this book you have written?
I finished writing this during the pandemic, and I wasn't going to publish it, but my daughter convinced me I needed to. It's based on trauma from the time I was 19 until I was in my 50s.
You had trauma?
Yes.
Okay, we don't need to discuss it. I'm sorry. If somebody wants to read, they can read the
You
book.
can read the book.
I mean, unless you feel the need to unburden yourself for a second. Okay.
Yeah, but the thing is, I wrote this over
Mhm.
many years,
Oh.
and I fictionalized events that happened to me that were very traumatic.
Oh.
But I fictionalized it to a degree. So I'd say about 95% of this book is exactly what happened, and the other 5%, I say life doesn't segue. Life comes at you from this side and hits you, and then all of a sudden another fist is coming at you from this side. And sometimes you're rocking along, and then something hits you. There's no segue.
Writing in a book, you gotta
But in
have.
a book, it has to move from one thing to another.
Right.
So I fictionalized parts of it so it would. It's called The Other 11 Ribs because
The Other 11 Ribs is what it's called. And where do we get this book?
you can buy it in Gulfport, actually, at Beach Bazaar. Beach
I
Bazaar.
love the Beach Bazaar. That they really
They're
do support local
locals.
people. If
And
you're doing something,
They have a whole shelf of local authors.
yes.
Yes.
You know, it's so you not only have art in an art gallery, you have a book in a shop downtown.
Correct.
There you
that
go.
sounds really good.
Doesn't it?
I don't feel
Well,
like
look,
I'm that
people,
person.
it's like there it is. It's not that hard. I don't mean that what you did was not a Herculean tour.
Oh,
You
well.
know the word I mean, Hercules. I mean that it's hard to do, but look, people can do. It can be done.
Well, this was actually, just like I was saying, this was therapeutic for me. This was. My daughter convinced me. She had come to Gulfport. I found them jobs during the pandemic so they could survive. And they stayed with me, and she said, Mom, you've got to publish this. I said, why? It's about me. It was just me getting rid of shit. Out of,
Is it gone, by the way? Did you get rid of it?
And she said, but if you publish it and you put it out there, you're actually letting go of it.
Oh.
And I had nightmares for years, and as soon as I published it, I have not had a nightmare
Ooh,
since.
yeah. Goosebumps.
It
All right.
was. She was correct. She helped me edit it. It's self-published on Amazon. You can also get it on Amazon. But it's the other 11 ribs stands for man.
Yes, there you go. All right, my dear. Well, there's some more fabulousness about you. We're going to try to get Wendy back up here real quick. And John, did you want to sing too? Come on up here. We're going to have a little, give you one more chance. And who was going to, John, I know you guys were going to play Summertime maybe. Anybody? You? Here, oh,
So they can
yes.
play.
Thank
you so much for
Yay.
having me.
Okay, so, say it.
Dugat.
Dugat. Right here, not Degas, Dugat.
Mademoiselle Dugat.
Mademoiselle, let me
Ici,
get you, okay, this is John Alexander, and he is been local here for a little while. Anyways, we met a long time ago.
Oh, yeah. She helped me dramatically when I first moved here. Helped me move into my house.
Well, there you go. That's back when I had a truck. I used to help people do all kinds of things. Now I'm going to flick this on for you, and you guys are going to do a little, little quick rendition of "Summertime,"
Yes.
and then we might sing "Carry My Rain in a Bushel Basket," depending on the
Okay.
time. I'm going to get out of the way. I don't know if you want to scoot over one or not, my friend.
Oh, you're going?
Oh, you're in. Okay, yeah. You're in. Okay, Chris Bitesize is in.
You get the middle.
Well, it's summertime in Florida, so this is
And you're in the key.
what
of
we're gonna do.
C.
So here we go.
Oh, there's one comment on the feed so far, and it says, "Great job, Wendy." Betty Duffy said. Just so
Oh,
you know.
Betty Duffy.
Okay.
Let's get her back.
Summertime, and the living is easy. Fish are jumping, and the cotton is high. Oh, your dad is rich, and your ma, she's good looking. So hush, little baby, don't you cry. One of these mornings, you're gonna wake up singing, yeah. You're gonna spread your wings, your yes, and take to the sky. But until that morning, well, nothing can harm you. While Daddy and Mama are standing by. Until that morning, well, nothing can harm you. While Daddy and Mama are standing, Daddy and Mama are standing, Daddy and Mama standing by. Oh yeah.
Sure it's hot.
Yeah, it's hot, all right. Woo-wee. Hey. Oh yeah, Daddy and Mama standing by, skillet bop beep bop da 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 da, yeah, yeah. Whoa.
does. And Cynthia, this is my gift to you. This woman, Diane Allen, she was on the show. I think this will really help you. So I
Thank
hope
you
you
so much.
enjoy that. Thank you, and I can send you. You want some peas to go home with? All right, I think it's about the end of this show. I'll see you guys
Bye-bye.
in 2 weeks from somewhere.
Stay cool.
Probably Gulfport.
We're staying cool down here.